All right, guys, welcome back to Transmit to 1075. I've been doing a bunch of videos in the last several months, everything from deck guns to other things that bother me or concerns I have in the fire service. Unfortunately, when you get to a lot of critiquing of fires, it tends to be on the negative side just because it's a little easier to point out something being wrong than when it's right. But today, we're going to take the opposite approach. I came across this video this week. This is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which happens to be the capital. I think this city, I don't know, you can read a bunch of different things online, but I think it's like many Pennsylvania cities, which is back in the day when there's money because of whatever it was, steel, industry, farming, what have you. Then at some point the jobs left, and then these cities have been getting older and more decrepit. It's probably a similar thing going on in half the countries in the U.S. But anyway, this section of the city is definitely a little impoverished. The buildings are older. Anyway, I think these guys do a just stand-up, bang-out job of what and how you should operate at a fire scene. I've been getting a lot of emails, too, from young guys who are just getting on the job or going to the fire academy saying there isn't much content out there about just giving tips or critiquing and so on and so forth. So I figured this would be the positive side. So I might point this or direct this more towards the younger guys. So I'm going to point out things here that I just think these guys do that are spot on this fire, and things as a young guy you should put in the back of your mind and file it for another day and see how your department operates and what their policies are as you move forward. So let's start to let this play out, and we'll go see here. So obviously we're in the chief's car.
We're going back in. Count three, make sure you pull past any room. Roger.
So I want to start off by saying... Hold on, let me...
27. Spotted. And wagon 4,
2.5 story.
2.5 story wood frame.
Second and third floor.
On the
Bravo side.
Are well off.
So I just wanted to point out, and this is a pet peeve of mine, but way to go, Chief. Parking the vehicle out of the way. I mean, you don't always have the luxury of putting in an empty lot across the street, but this is typically more a police issue. But like, I don't care how many times you tell the cops, at every fire, for some reason or another, there's a cop car parked in front of the building or by a hydrant or in the way or blocking so another rig can't get by. But anyway, here we are already. We've just gotten on scene, and this chief has enough foresight to put his car out of the way for the incident.
227.
And I'll also point out here, like you said, it's a 2.5 story wood frame. We'd categorize this in the East Coast as a duplex. This building was built, I actually Googled it, was built in 1927. So as you'll see here, this is no joke. This building's been cut up in a million different ways, holes drilled in it, things have been changed over 100 years. This is a city house that gives all different types of challenges to a firefighter.
Right in front of the house.
Right in front of the house.
And he just called, again, another great tip. Has already called out, he spotted a hydrant, and he's told the incoming engine company that there's a hydrant right in front. Perfect.
Wagon 3, back up. Back up and let room for all three of us. Back up.
We won't talk about this girl just hitting the deck. She just slipped on the ice. That's a topic for another day. So we got an exposure issue here. Fire blowing out the Bravo side.
See back up. County 2-3's on the air.
Okay, 2-3. From County 7.
All right, first arriving engine's pulling up.
Tower 1 going
Our
back.
battalion or deputy, whoever this is, starting to make a size up.
Good water. Okay, buddy.
All right, he's checking out the exposure. So, stop it again. So they just left room. The truck just got the front of the building. Perfect. The first due engine stayed on the side street and let this, the second engine behind the truck is going to be the initial place they stretch the line from. So great. Perfect. Chief tried to make a quick look, maybe open the door, see if you had somebody there.
I can't.
Now, as you can see here, I got two guys here. I got one with the irons, and look at this. I talk about so many fires, we bitch and complain about how long it takes the guys to stretch a line. Look here, we've been here 30 seconds. I see a guy, he's got his mask on already. He's got a load on his shoulder. The line is stretched. This guy is ready to go to work already, as soon as this door gets opened.
Yep. I'm going to the back. Okay.
I'm just very impressed. Everyone is here. Everyone knows their job. You got guys going around the building. No one needs to be told what to do here. Everyone has gotten off the rig, and they're immediately going to work. There's no standing around. Chief's now going to go do a 360. Again, perfect. Now he gets distracted here for obvious reasons.
All right. Is somebody else in there? Okay. You can. We're gonna put a truck here. She's gonna go somewhere else.
All right, so he's determined this hysterical woman is just yelling about a dog, but there's no civilians inside. He's back doing his job. Again, as I was mentioning before, these are not easy fires. These buildings are, I'm sure, since they're over 100 years old, and you can tell they were probably single families back in the day. They've been cut up 3 different ways for different apartments and kitchens, and you have different voids. This is extremely challenging for guys.
We're good for now. Are you going down?
Okay, look, see?
Counting from 27. Truck 32 to Lynn and Primrose. The Charlie side.
So he's getting a ladder to the rear. Again, great planning. We have an interior attack, but he's setting up and positioning apparatus if this thing goes south and now you have to go to an exterior attack.
Hey, they're secure on the first floor? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You want me to go get it?
Go around.
I can back right up. I can back right up and lay down. Okay?
Copy that same location. 34 is coming in here. 34 truck is coming here. So
This is the other side of the duplex. This guy, I'm assuming, is going in and checking this other building that I don't think is on fire, although you got some serious smoke pushing out. But I'm sure he's doing a primary search.
out of the way.
Water supply, already established by the chauffeur. Great positioning. Granted, you get lucky here, but still. They positioned the first due engine in a way of which they can get their own water supply and stretch to save time and energy.
Can I get my location assigned?
They got the stick up. This is the ladder, first due ladder. Actually, let me just get this straight. It might be second due ladder. Excuse me. Second due ladder already has a ladder to the exposure. Just sitting there waiting. Perfect.
Linden off Turbo Road, Scott.
Lynn,
Lynn.
And I will mind you, this has all gone down in a very short period of time here. This is a several minutes. This isn't 20 minutes later. This is everyone is doing their job effectively.
Can you get out of the back of my car, get the command board, bring it right over here? Also the tags from all the rigs. Thank you.
My guess is those are EMS personnel that are under the fire department. That's a guess, but that's what I suspect. All right, I just want to point out here, in the time that we've gone around back and looked around and done a 360, and the guys are doing a primary on the exposure of the duplex, I see 2 lines in the building. I have a third one here stretched and left at the attached exposure. Again, look at the time period.
Hey, run! Get this knocked down over here. Okay, your Bravo wall has an insel brick fire on the exterior. If you can get a line out of one of those windows and hit it, great. We're stretching another line on the outside. Bruce, we got your line. Come back up here, I got a line for you. Bruce is coming.
All right, he was calling this insel brick, if you just want to go back here for a second.
Outside.
So insel brick, I never called him that, but that's the proper term, actually. I used to hear this called as gasoline siding. Essentially what that is, if young guys aren't familiar, I don't even think this is legal anymore in many states. I know it's not in New Jersey. So they used to call this gasoline siding in the city. And so 100 years ago when they built this house, this aluminum siding wasn't here. They put siding, which was essentially asphalt shingles. And so, as you know, on a roof, the asphalt burns pretty easily. Well, on a vertical building, or when they're installed vertically, I mean, it's sort of like taking a match. If you have the match up with the flame is high, it burns slow. But if you turn it upside down, it burns through the wood in your finger rather quickly. Same premise. This siding, this gasoline siding, this insel siding, when it gets off, when it lights off, it is off to the races. It's petroleum based, and it'll light this whole alleyway up in seconds, and this exposure will be going very, very quickly. So once again, the chief understands what he's dealing with. He knows his building construction, and this is again what I've always said my whole career. In my view, the best firefighters, and I'm sure guys here will argue this, but personally, I think the best firefighters out there are guys that are in construction, the tradesmen, plumbers, electricians, carpenters, guys that understand what's going on inside the walls. Guys that when you send inside say, hey, you need to shut the gas off. You need to shut the electric off. We have a water leak. Some guys don't even know what they're looking at. They don't know gas black pipe from a water pipe, from copper, from anything. So again, big thumbs up to this chief, knows what he's dealing with, knows what's going on here, and is getting his men to do he's looking over the big picture and making sure they get this exposure issue knocked down.
Come back up here, I got a line for you. Bruce is coming.
I already mentioned the one thing about the straight stick, but here you got the bucket, this aerial scope, not doing anything, but it's positioned and ready to go. If things change, if somebody, there's a mayday and somebody needs to come out a window, it's ready to go. The chauffeur can put this into service immediately. It's just thinking ahead. So anyway, he's going to start to give us a synopsis of what's going on here. You can see the two lines inside. I'm sure they had one on the first floor, one on the second floor, doing whatever they got to do. I would advocate that you go and watch some of these other videos of this this guy here that's posted these videos. They're quite good. And again, firefighting 101. My tip of the hat to these guys in Harrisburg. It looks to me that a lot of them like to go to work. They're proud of. They have pride in what they do. They take their job seriously. And when a fire comes, they go immediately to action. Cheers. All right, guys. Please check out my other videos, and we'll see you at the next one.